What's good, what's good, what's good? It's your boy Micah back at it again with another YouTube video. Today we're going to talk about narcissists and abusers and how to rid yourself of them, as well as how to rid yourself of Christians, Muslims, and Jews that have been praying for you and fucking with you, basically. Because there are some practitioners out there that experience that bane of their existence, you know? So to start off, the narcissists. First thing you need to know about assaulting them magically is that you have to go after their ego, their solar plexus chakra, their sense of control, their sense of charisma, their ability to enthrall those who are around them and make them believe whatever the fuck they say. Many ways you can do this. You could take your basic death hex, black candle, probably anointed with Dume oil, that kind of thing, and you can target it for their motherfucking solar plexus chakra. You can also take a yellow candle and anoint it with a vampiric oil, and you can start to slowly vamp their ego strength and their charisma. That way your own ego, your own sense of survival gets stronger and you get added charisma. So people are not as quick to believe that you're the fucking bad guy in a particular situation. What this will do to the narcissist is that this will break them down bit by bit by bit. It will insinuate into their ID and their subconscious and unconscious mind. And it will slowly start to break down their control over the world that they have around them. Because that's what they have their life based on. When this happens, you start to see them show signs of weakness. Keep going with the exact same spell for like 7 days. See what that does to them. Then do it for another 7 days. See them get weaker and weaker and weaker and weaker. When their ego is completely dissolved, you'll have access to their spirit and their soul, as well as their divinity. What you can do from here is you can either death hex it directly and watch them develop illness or fucking head trauma, that kind of thing, or you can vampirize and suck their spirit and soul out of its shell. Or you can manipulate the soul to cause them to get sick and then suddenly heal. That sudden healing is actually a mind-breaking curse that will put them in thrall to you. What do I mean by in thrall? I.e., they basically do whatever the fuck you say. They're possessed with this fascination with you, that kind of thing. It's a way of forcing someone's submission. When they're doing you wrong or whatever. Very fucking evil, mind you. Very fucking evil. But it can be done. Another thing to note with narcissists is that their will is very fucking strong. This is why it will take a while for your curses and your hexes to really go through unless your will is stronger than theirs. Then it just becomes natural to crush them, to crush their insides. You can start manipulating their self, their actual sense of self, or rather the lack of self that is there to your advantage. Because if nothing is there, then you can deposit a spirit within them that will become their self. If you have your own legions or your own servitors, you can do that shit easily. Go through their shadow while they're asleep, separate their shadow from the material body, and in that gap, insert whatever legionnaire, spirit, or familiar you have there. And it will start to take on a life of its own. And they will start to have a sense of deeper things beyond the physical, for one, because that's what most narcissists lack. At this point, you got them by the balls. You can do whatever the hell you need to do to them. It will make escaping a situation easier because with time, you will gain control and the power dynamic will shift. Therefore, most extreme measures will not be necessary. And if you do have to employ them, you can do it mercilessly. Simple as that. As far as dealing with narcissists who are involved in the occult, whether it's black magic, RHP magic, or the most common case, narcissists who are Christians and use the religion as a mask to appear like a goody two-shoes to everybody. You might have to go with harsher measures. Again, break down their ego in addition to breaking down their spiritual protections and their ties of faith and that kind of thing, especially if it's a Christian. Once they can no longer sense their deity or hear their deity, then you have them by the balls. You can pretty much do whatever you want to them. You can hex them, curse them, break them, entice them to commit more sin, quote unquote, which further separates them from their own spirit, that kind of thing, because it doesn't come naturally to them and all of that. Then you set them up so that they metaphorically put the noose around their own necks, i.e. you trick the trickster into making tactical mistakes in judgment. This could be anything from you didn't look where you was going and now you're at the bottom of the steps with your neck broken. It could be a more conversational slip of the tongue kind of thing. If it's a religious Christian, they curse or they do some foul shit, and then everybody sees them for the piece of shit that they really are. Therefore, they start helping you out, giving you their resources, giving you money, giving you whatever. You feel me? Essentially, you're able to get the help you deserve and able to make the escape that you need to make. For those of you who are stuck in abusive situations, especially if you're like a magician and you don't have your own ritual space and whatnot, and you're sick of people going through your shit, throwing it away, and all this other kind of stuff, road opener spells. That and bindings. Because it's funny, even those narcissists do not consciously get the message or respect people's boundaries, subconsciously and unconsciously, after enough pain and bodily torment, they will get the message. You'll notice a sudden stop in them going through your shit, just out of nowhere, like they were never doing it. That's their subconscious mind letting them know, hey, we can't touch this shit. We can't do that or else this will happen. You literally have to go Pavlovian, like Pavlov's fucking dog on these people, in order to recondition them to act a certain way. Just think about it. Narcissists, even though they lack a sense of self and all this other kind of shit, they were conditioned, even if it's only self-conditioning, to act a certain way. Meaning, in actuality, they're some of the weakest species of humans because they can be conditioned so easily. The problem most people have is, instead of finding ways to recondition them with a whole punishment or reward factor, basic psychology, most of us just take the brunt of it and then have to go through the process of no contact and all this other kind of shit, which does help in some cases. That is legit. I'm not knocking that. What I am saying is, until you are able to make the escape, there is another way. It's a form of psychological domination, so to speak, that you have to play with the narcissist. In terms of more mundane 3D tactics to do so, for example, I know some occultists are struggling financially, and it seems like whatever the narcissistic person is, whether it's a parent, religious figure, or what have you, they continuously make things difficult by vampirizing their money, and vampirizing and sabotaging the person's jobs and places of work that they are at. What you can do is, whenever the narcissist asks you for money, for example, enchant the money to deliver pain, oppression, etc. upon them once they get it. And it'll take a while to kick in, but you'll notice they start to feel weird. They start to feel off.